How to change captions language. Cómo cambiar el idioma de los subtítulos. Click the settings icon. Haga clic en el icono de configuración. Click captions. Haga clic en subtítulos. Click on auto translate. Haga clic en traducir automáticamente. Choose language y elige idioma.
My name is Rosana Rodriguez. I'm the co-executive director of the Laundry Workers Center. Laundry Workers Center, we are a grassroots organization, a non-for-profit that advocate for low-wage immigrant workers. We are not a service organization. We are more providing leadership development and improving the life and working condition of the workers and members of the community through the organizing process. I migrated to this country in 2010. So I myself suffer, wage theft, discrimination in my work when I came here as an immigrant and as a woman. And I get involved in one organization in New York. And then later, 1 year later, we decide we need to create something, an organization that really centralize workers. And that's when everything starts. So I'm one of the co-founders of the organization. I volunteer for many years doing, finance and organizing and things like that in the organization until we have a little resources. And then in 2015, I get the opportunity to have the position that I have now, that is a lead organization with my co-director, Mama Lopez. Laundry Worker Center, as I mentioned, we centralize workers, so everything that all our programs are run by workers and led by workers. We are, as I mentioned before, our membership are mostly low-wage immigrant workers, mostly women and people of color, and that work in laundromat, in the food service industry, and warehouse and construction. Most of them are located here in New Jersey and also in New York City. And we all our programs are led by and centralized by our membership, and so we are a member-led organization, and they are the ones that make decisions, and we have a way to grow inside the organization, so people came through our different programs. Example, we have our Leadership Institute, which is our prime program where people get trained and learn about their rights and learn how to organize. And many of them become leaders. They can then become volunteers. We have the auction. Most of the people, half of our board members are already leaders that already led their campaigns and organized their workplace. So and our committees are led by leaders inside the organization. So we are very pro-workers and workers and member-led organization. Our theory of change is we believe that people that are in the struggle are the people that have to lead the struggle. And we have a bottom-up approach. So the organization is just a tool to support people to really make a transformation. We don't believe in transaction. We believe more in a transformative system. And for us, it's key that, that those people are the ones that are gonna make the difference. When we do leadership development, it's like those leaders come back to their communities, to their workplace, and trying to make changes and challenge those oppression systems. And we see, for example, the workplaces, when we organize, it's like microcosm, like little microcosm that you can see how the oppressing system work when a bad employer, oppress their workers and don't pay minimum wage and don't provide health and safety or the PPE that they need or respect the law. It's like if you can see that in a big spectrum, like at a big level. So when we do organizing campaign, it's like we are putting like a little grain to really make a change. That's how we believe in that we do and contribute to make changes in the system. I think our community is very resilient, and when the challenge that we face all the time is like when people migrate, there's a lot of discrimination, employers abuse of the necessity of people, so and exploit that. And most of that is the mentality that people came to the country like, we are coming from colonized communities. And people, when they migrate, they come with that mentality that they have to, if they have a job, they have to be grateful, they have to be silenced. And we have to break with those change. And we call like we have to discolonize people's mind. And that's what we do in our leadership training. Like it's a transformation process when people start in one way and they finish in another way, because you can see like a huge transformation, a 360 transformation, when really people go through this process, and when they can sit in a table and negotiate with employer and see like, they are the power dynamic change, and now you are my employer, but you have to negotiate with me. So that's what we do when we organize. When you have that kind of mind, you have like, you're blind, so you cannot see the reality. You don't see like this employer or these people in the community is not respecting our rights. So when we go through this process to trying to change the mindset, it's like you are taking that, you are opening your eyes and see like the reality. Why we are in that cycle that we are poor is because this employer, this bad employer, is stealing my wages. I right now we have a campaign with a worker that she worked every day. She worked 70 hours and she get paid below minimum wage. She get paid $10 per hour. She have 2 kids and she cannot spend time with the kids. But at the same time, she cannot pay rent because she's working, she's not earning, she's working 70 hours that she don't get paid minimum wage, no overtime. She don't get sick days. She don't have a day off. She don't have lunch break. So, it's like a kind of a slave in this time in 2025 that this employer is taking advantage. And now she's been training with us for 4 months. We already went and delivered the demand letter, and she confronted the employer, and she feel like it's free. It's like, it's kind of liberation. Like, this person is oppressing me, and I have the chance, the opportunity to say that that's wrong, and I want to be respected as worker, as a person, as people. And I think that's why it's important. What is getting our way is sometimes the system that is designed for workers to fail and really not become together and organize. Because, for example, in the case of laundromat workers, most of them are women, immigrant women's, the head of the household. And these small businesses, it's easy for the employer, when the workers organize and asking or demand better conditions, they easily can close down and shut down their laundromat and avoid responsibility and reopen again with another name, a new corporation, and they don't have to pay to the workers. They just avoid responsibility. That's one of the challenges. It's really easy for business employers to do that in the system that we live. So yeah, that's something that we face a lot. One of the things that we face a lot, like how bad employer can avoid responsibility, and there's many tactics that they use to not pay what they owe to the workers or to not change the condition in the workplace. And another challenge that we face is the resources. So yeah, we don't have, for this kind of work, the resources are very limited, and there's few foundations that really support the work that we do. Sometimes we have to be very creative to continue doing this work and be independent, because for us, we haven't grown so much. We're small. It's because we also doesn't have the resources, because we want to be independent and continue to do the work that we do, organizing workers and the community. So yeah, there's limited resources for organizing workers. Sometimes funders or big organizations, they want to take a small organization like us, or like impose what they want us to do, or like based on whatever are whatever are their guidelines, or their goals for that year, to change the things that we do. And like, or they want us to be part of project, when we are not a project, we are an independent organization. So sometimes, like, funders put their needs before what the organizations need. What we're trying to do is trying to get people prepared and organized, because we don't know what's gonna happen. Like, we know that this administration is gonna have breaks. We know that they're gonna come to the community, that they are not respecting even schools or like church like before. So it's really, I think that's gonna be, we are gonna be in a defensive mode right now, like trying to solving and supporting members in many ways. And I think for that, we need resources too. Because it's gonna be 4 years, very challenging and very intense. It's key that funders and people that have resources come to support in that sense. We need to be connected, we need networking, we need, like, in the same way that the government have, we're never gonna be in that level, but at the same way they have their resources in the ways that they can connect. I think we, as the philanthropy part, the organizing community, we have to have that kind of networking to really build power for people, for working class people. Wage theft means when you are getting paid below the minimum wage, when you work more than 40 hours, and you don't get paid the overtime. Overtime is time of half of the salary, the minimum wage, or the wages that you receive. When you don't get lunch break, for example, or like you work before or after clock. Sometimes the employer asks you to arrive before your schedule, and they don't pay that time, or stay after and they don't pay that time. All of that is wage theft, because they are not paying for the work that you're doing. And here in New Jersey, when the employer do not pay or respect your sick dates, that's considered wage theft too. So it's important for people, I think, like, and we need to exercise that, right? Because many people doesn't know, like, oh, my employer doesn't give me my sick dates, doesn't pay me. It's a wage of wage theft too here in New Jersey. So that's really important. In the case of the Department of Labor, they don't have the resources. The employers, they understand that, and they take the chance. They don't care. They might know the law, but they don't. They take the chance because what they want is profit. They don't care about people. They want profit. So it's like there's very low enforcement, and employer take advantage of that. We have good laws, but the implementation is very little. El trabajo que hacemos en Laundry Worker Center es único. Somos la única organización que organiza a trabajadoras de lavandería en Nueva Jersey, en la ciudad de Nueva York también. Y una de las cosas que nos caracteriza es que creemos mucho en la solidaridad. Entonces entendemos que el trabajo que hacemos no lo podemos hacer solo, y siempre estamos aliándonos con otros compañeros y en las luchas para lograr como mejorar las condiciones y hacer un impacto en la vida de la gente. Entonces yo creo que esa parte nos hace único. Tenemos diferentes programas como nuestro Instituto de Liderazgo, que actualmente hicimos una colaboración, partnership con SUNY Empire State College, y ahora nuestro instituto, la gente puede obtener crédito cuando hace nuestro programa. Es un programa de 8 a 12 semanas, y el compromiso es que al final del programa la gente tiene que organizar en su trabajo o en la comunidad. Porque nosotros creemos que es importante que la gente, no es que vayas a un entrenamiento y te quedes con esa información. Lo importante es poner esa información en práctica. Y bueno, nuestra organización tiene diferentes valores. Creemos en liderazgo de los trabajadores, en el poder de los trabajadores, la justicia social, pero también creemos en la acción directa. Nosotros creemos que los cambios que se han logrado y que se van a lograr en el futuro es tomando acción. Y cuando decimos acción, puede ser ir a hacer una delegación, sentarnos en una mesa a negociar con el empleador, una marcha, una protesta, un rally, pero tomar acción. Eso es lo más importante, yo creo que cómo podemos lograr los cambios. Para comunicarse con nosotros hay diferentes formas. Pueden escribirnos a través de nuestro correo electrónico laundryworkercenter@gmail.com. Pueden visitarnos en nuestra oficina en Orange. Estamos en Essex County, en el 47 de Cleveland Street, en Orange, New Jersey, y en Nueva York, en la 42 Broadway, piso 12 de Nueva York. También en las redes sociales estamos en Facebook, Instagram y X o Twitter, como antes le decíamos, y pueden mandarnos mensajes privados y comunicarse con nosotros y seguir nuestro trabajo.